Scene 29. Pran Talk. Pat ended the call long ago, but I'm still clutching my phone, unable to release it as if it's the only thing connecting us. I pray that I'll be strong enough to not pack my things and jump off the window to run away with him. Pat has always been rash and made decisions based on his emotions. He takes action before thinking it through. But since I could clean up all the mess he caused, he never cared about the unfavorable consequences of his actions. I tried to protect him, though I didn't say that out loud. I played the cruel role and hurt the person I love. I let go of his hand and walked away, abandoning our love. Even so, I wasn't happy with every decision I made. Everything. I did it all for him. I, s- I spent the night fidgeting and opening the curtains to check if Pat has come home. I open and close the curtains and walk back and forth until the first light breaks. Time feels so slow until I hear a commotion from the house next door. I press my lips so hard that they hurt, knowing Pat didn't come back. His parents have started kicking a big fuss. They scream so loud, and it makes me worry about Par. I knew this was going to happen. Pat, come back to take care of your sister. My eyes get teary as I realize how disastrous our love is. I've never thought our happiness would devastate others. I can hear Pat's mother scream from here. I have no idea what's going on inside. After an hour, everything finally becomes quiet. I knit my brow and clench my fists so hard that my hands bleed, hating myself even more for my incapability to do anything. I'm just an ordinary person who can change nothing. Pat comes home eventually. He walks inside with a big backpack, which means the call last night wasn't my imagination. I let my tears fall again when I see the side of his face. The monster in my heart is shrieking and trying to rip my chest apart. I want to scream and destroy everything just because I can't stand the look on his face.
The kid finally showed his true color. How could he run away from home like that? How did they raise him?
I munch my food with my head down, listening to those hateful words towards the other family. Just keeps worsening. I wish I could cut the chain tied around my legs, slam my fists on the table, sweep everything in front of me off, and run to the person who is in agony as I am in the house right next to mine. But I can only turn a deaf ear to my parents' words. I need to endure it for his better future. In reality, we have to accept that we can't do whatever we want.
Isn't that right? And they even made a fuss so early in the morning. How rude.
He could be a drug addict, running away from home like that. As mom chimes in, dad continues.
In the end, he just screwed up and came back less than a day.
I wish I could go deaf and dumb if I can't speak my mind when my mouth and ears work fine.
Don't associate with him ever again, Pran. Think of the past as a dog bite.
If dad views our love as a dog bite, then the bite is an utterly ugly wound, leaving a huge scar on my chest. It's painful and unforgettable.
Have you looked into the universities?
The conversation moves on to me, but I'm not really in the mood to answer.
I will. Just choose already. I plan to send you there ahead of schedule within this month. I talked to Paul.
Dad,
What?
he asks sternly and meets my gaze. He even narrows his eyes to remind me that I should think before I speak. If I cut ties with Pat for good, can you not send me abroad?
Why?
I don't want to go. I want to stay here. Dad looks at me. We hold each other's gazes. My heart beats faster, expecting his next words to be different.
We won't talk about this again.
But, Dad, no matter how desperate I hope, my wish never comes true.
I've made up my mind.
Did you really make up your mind? Do I have a say in the matter in the first place? I answer honestly. At this rate, why is the only person I can speak my mind with? Bran! Yeah, I had a drink with those engineering dudes the other day. How come? I laugh. Have you stopped fighting? So because of you two. I halt and meet his eyes, noting the implication. Something changed, you see? It really happened. Your relationship didn't bring only bad outcomes. So what? Does it matter? Can it help us? I raised my voice, a little, feeling pent up. There are only Y and me in his room, so no one could hear us. Who cares if I'm miserable? Who can help us? Do you think we didn't have a fight with our parents? Our families were so close to falling apart. Bran, I'm alright, but his family. I feel sorry for Par. I come down when mentioning Pat's only sister. Sighing, I look at the window. Running away together is easy, and it's not like I don't want to do it. I refuse to do it because I know no one will be happy as we hope in the end. Pat's face appears in the sky above. I watch it until it fades away. Pat would never stop worrying about his sister. Well, I'd never forget my family. Knowing him well, I know we won't have the happiness we wish for even if we run away to the end of the world. The room falls into silence. We're lost in thought for 10 minutes. I sympathize with you, Y says and grips my shoulder firmly. I meet his gaze and can only smile at his solemn expression. I wouldn't be able to make decisions if I were to face the same situation. I wouldn't be able to do what you did. I'm fine. You're not. Yeah, sorry. I laugh. I'm used to lying to myself. Bran, quit joking. I'm not joking. It's the truth. Really. Come on. I even asked for my mom's permission to hang out with you. I'm sick of being grounded. It's really serious. She even drove you here. And she'll pick me up. Fuck, it's tough being you. Someone has it harder. Why laughs, knowing exactly who it is. Who else could it be except the person I'm thinking of with all my heart? Have you started packing up? Mom asks during the ride home. We don't look at each other. Her eyes are fixed on the road ahead while I lean my head on the window and watch the view outside. No. I've prepared the suitcases. Just pick one. Maybe the big one so you can take a lot of stuff. Yeah. Pong will look after you there. Since he can cook, I'm not worried about your food. Yeah. I heard it's chilly. Let's go and buy some sweaters together the day after tomorrow. Yeah. I agree with everything, like a robot programmed to follow orders. I have the right to listen and not refuse. I'm allowed to think but not make decisions. Everything goes on against my will. I step out of the car once we've reached home. My phone suddenly vibrates. I sneak a glance at the screen and it shows Par's name. My heart paces as I dismiss the call to stop the vibration before mom can notice. I slip my phone in my pocket, acting natural. Then I hurried to my room without looking suspicious. As soon as I shut the door, I pick up the second call immediately. Hello? Fran. Hey, Par. How are you holding up? Me? I'm alright. Is Pat alright though? Didn't she call me to talk about him? Despite the uneasiness, not a single question slips out of my mouth. I heard you're going abroad. Oh, you're right. The date is decided. I leave on the 13th of the month. 13th? I left my eyebrow at Par's shocked voice repeating my word. Yeah, the 13th. What's the matter? Nothing, she stutters, but I don't push her. Why so soon? It's in a few days. My dad wants me to leave as soon as possible. I laugh, forcing my sound to sound unbothered. We've discussed it for about a month. When everything was settled, he decided to send me there right away. Oh, yeah? Her voice sounds faint. I can tell she has something to say, but doesn't dare to do it. And I don't plan to bring it up first, so let's just keep it unspoken. How are you, Bar? It's been a while. I'm alright. By the way, since you're going abroad, does that mean you're not attending the commencement ceremony? I guess so. My parents care more about sending me abroad. A piece of paper is nothing comparing to keeping me a continent away from Pat. Oh, yeah? Bar repeats. With none of us mentioning what's on our minds, we say goodbye and hang up. I pull the big suitcase near the door to the middle of my bedroom. I open it, take a deep breath, and start rummaging through the closet for the clothes I'd like to bring along. I won't take many with me since it's easier to buy new ones when I get there. However, I pack up as they ordered to avoid questions. I fold my clothes roughly. Other necessities my mom left on the table are transferred into the suitcase one by one. I've finished packing pretty quickly, seeing no point in bringing too much stuff. The last task is buying the sweaters as mom wants. I sigh and plop on the bed. My eyes flick to the plush bunny that is now darker than the last time I washed it. It looked way better back then. It's owner left it here since the day my mom came in and screamed. I have no idea if he can sleep without cuddling Shabby. It's impossible to return it now. I hold it in my hands, stroke its ears, and smile. Recalling the way that punk snuggled it every day, I crack up. We were so much happier back then, weren't we, Pat? I exhale, letting the memories erase the smile on my face. I hug the plush to my chest and close my eyes to stop the brimming tears. I breathe in deeply and whisper loud enough for only his fragrance to hear. You're coming with me. 3 days before the departure, the family next door was busy preparing for the engagement ceremony. People ran in and out of the house almost every day. The garden was tended to and decorated nicely for the important day. I learned that the ceremony is held on my departure day when I get ready to go out and spot Pat in a light color suit in front of his yard. This is the first time we saw each other in a month. He cut his hair short, looking totally different. It hurts because he wouldn't cut it no matter how hard I begged him to, but he could do it easily for his future significant person. Despite everything, some sort of longing surges in my heart. He's going to say something and decides not to. We're a few feet away from each other, from his garden to the front gate, yet the distance feels so far and unconnected. When my mom comes out to summon me to the car, no words have been exchanged between him and me. No goodbyes uttered as I get in the car and we drive off. I clench my fists, clasping my hands together. I tighten them until they shake, afraid that my patience will vanish at any moment. I shut my eyes, not looking back, begging the pain in my heart to fade away. At the airport, I trail after my parents quietly, letting them handle everything for me without a word. When I'm at the gate, I just say goodbye to them. We don't hug, express our love, or exchange emotional words. I turn around and walk into the gate, following the steps perfectly. Then I head to the boarding area to wait for the departure time. I play on my phone to pass the time, though one certain thing sticks to my mind. As I scroll through the Facebook feed, I glance at the clock and find that it's time to board. When I'm closing the app, my finger brushes the screen and the photo shows up. It's the photo of the engagement ceremony of a couple. They're embracing each other with joy. I wouldn't care much if it weren't Pat in the photo. I stare at it for a while until I realize I need to board the plane. I rub my face with my hand to get a grip. Before I stand up, I like the photo and lock the screen. I'm off to the country devoid of our memories, nor him. End of scene 29.